Hey, greetings everyone. Welcome to a very special live broadcast, living room live broadcast. Nice to be here with you, and looking forward to getting in and doing this work with you this morning, this afternoon, wherever it is, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And so now we're getting to the around the midway point of the 40-day challenge. At this point, I would imagine that many of us are in the deeper grind of the work, that we're really, this meditation is really starting to work on you in a much more substantial way. And sometimes we're not even aware of that is happening. So at this time, this is why we do these live broadcasts, to keep the momentum fresh, to keep yourself connected to the bigger reasons that you're alive and that why you're doing meditation practice in the first place. With this Thunderbolt of Shiva meditation, it works on the very deep structures within your subconscious mind. And when we talk about purification of the mind, what we're talking about specifically is purification of your subconscious mind. It's all the problems in our lives with our behaviors and with our emotional challenges come from the subconscious. All the real problems start in the subconscious. And so we want to make sure that we're purifying away, or at least taking energy away from the thought patterns, emotional patterns, and behavior patterns that we have that continue to cause us suffering in our lives. And so that's a process, and it takes time, and it takes self-love and compassion. So as you're doing this work, it's not just a mechanical process. It requires that you exercise self-love, self-compassion. It's only when you've really learned to love yourself that we become effective in having genuine and more consistent compassion for other beings, other people. And so therefore, when I say that, I mean consistent compassion for other people, other beings. That means you're very consistently feeling a flow of love and compassion to not just individuals that you know and you like, but to people and beings that you may not know, or you may know but do not like. And that's a much higher level of emotional intelligence. And so with working with Tershila Kriya, and working with the Thunderbolt mantra, the Har Har Waheguru, it is very much getting into those deeper structures, because in the subconscious, it's not that it's just a subconscious thought. But if I have for instance, if I'm an angry person, that means I have well-developed structures within the subconscious mind that cause me to continue to be an angry person. If I'm an anxious person, that means I have well-developed structures within the subconscious part of the psyche that then cause my thoughts and feelings and emotions and behavior to consistently operate in an anxious type way. If I'm a depressed person, and a very regularly depressed person, that means I have structures within the subconscious in the same fashion. Jealousy, envy, insecurity, all of these things. So most of us, we have a predominant neuroses, or a couple of predominant neuroses that are more pronounced than the other neuroses that come up. And so we don't want to make too big of a deal of it, because if we make a big deal of it, it somehow seems to kind of give extra electricity to those things. We realize that everybody has that stuff. Everybody has something. And we're very powerfully yet gradually purifying away those tendencies. We're being very patient with ourselves as we go through these processes, especially as we're doing very powerful practices that do a phenomenal job of purifying those things away, it requires that we actually exercise even more self-love and more self-compassion. That when we find ourselves feeling in a way that then triggers those old tendencies, that we don't get guilty about it, or at least we endeavor to try not to be guilty about it. And if we find ourselves being guilty about it, we love ourselves even in that space. Sometimes it's the case that we feel like we almost need to like punish ourselves when we're exhibiting neuroses, or when we're feeling guilty, because and guilty is almost a form of like a self-punishment that is this all happening subconsciously. And so perhaps at this point in our journey together, the most important thing you can cultivate as you continue to do your practice every day is self-love, self-compassion. Be accepting of yourself no matter how you feel. If you feel sad, by all means feel sad. If you feel disappointed, feel disappointed. Don't push it away as if like, oh, I'm doing all this work, I shouldn't be feeling disappointed, I shouldn't be feeling depressed, shouldn't be feeling angry. Feel the way you feel and then move on from it, and continue to do these exercises and get into those power practices in the Life Force Academy whenever you need them. If you're in a little funky state, come and sit down and do a broadcast, do the new class from the Dharma series, or do a power practice, or whatever the case is. So that's just what I wanted to kind of encourage you all before we begin today is be really kind to yourself as you're doing all of this. And it's big work, and sometimes it's intense. And so continue to love yourself. Take a nice bath, get a massage if that's a possibility for you. But keep going with the work. Be kind, but keep going, and stay the course. That's the mantra for you today. Stay the course. And when you finding resistance, when you think that maybe you're going to opt out, the mantra is stay the course. Stay the course. All right, let's tune in. All right, inhale deep. Exhale. Inhale deep. Exhale. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Adangure Namo, Jugadangure Namo, Satangure Namo, Siri Gurudev Namo. Adangure Namo, Jugadangure Namo, Satangure Namo, Siri Gurudev Namo. Adangure Namo, Jugadangure Namo, Satangure Namo, Siri Gurudev Namo. Satnam. Okay, friends. And one thing I wanted to tell you about before we begin, I'm not sure if it's out yet. If it's not out yet, it'll be coming out very soon, is a new power practice that I'm really excited about. It's called the Warrior Practice for Radiance and Courage. and it is a just over 40-minute power practice that was beautifully filmed at the last Life Force Formula immersion event, and it's really a powerful practice. It begins just with like a cat-cow, like we're about to do in a moment. It moves into an archer pose sequence, and then moves into the conquering imagined disabilities, and then the Mahan Gyan Mudra meditation. Now, what makes this one extra special, I mean, to do that sequence of kriyas all together is going to work every time, no matter what, in my experience. But what makes this power practice extra special, one of the very cool things that we're fortunately able to, capture in the Life Force Academy, is it features live music from this whole Simrit band playing live in the immersion during the exercises, and they're riffing on the new Chattar Chakravarti that is featured the first track on their new album. But this is a live that they did in June. And, every immersion's amazing all the way through, but it usually has a couple of moments that stick out as some of the most powerful moments of the entire week. And that this sequence was the one that pops out. Many of you use the recording for the Sat Kriya Sat Nam Sat with the Simrit music. And a couple of years ago, that was the moment that stuck out as like just a phenomenally transcendent moment where the energy field was just it went to another level. And this was the moment of this past immersion in here in the Nevada City area. And so I'm very happy that we have that as a power practice now. I give an introduction to it, and then you'll be able to use it. And that's anytime you're feeling in a little bit of a funk, or you need to really like big up your energy, you need to really boost, supercharge yourself, courage, energy, vitality, need to increase the radiance around you. Use this warrior power practice for radiance and courage. Okay, come onto your hands and knees, and let's begin our practice today. And why not? Let's begin it to that warrior mantra for radiance and courage. Come on the hands and knees. We're going to begin the cat-cow. Inhaling, head is up. Exhale, head is down. Now keep going. Inhaling, head is up. Exhaling, head is down. Eyes are closed. Now as you continue, deepen your breathing. "30 seconds, and continue. Eyes in your third eye, using your breath to move the life force in the body. every breath carving the meditative mind, sculpting the diamond-like mind, purifying the density of the psyche. Inhale, head is up. Exhale, the head is down. Beautiful, and come up to easy pose. And bring your hands to the ankles or shins. Third eye gaze, spinal flexing. Sit bones pressed down as the chest lifts up. Meditative mind, meditative gaze. Keep going. Seconds, continue. Deep. Rectum, sex organ, navel. Suspend the breath. Draw your gaze, third eye. Exhale. Amazing. Take your hands to your shoulders. Spinal twists. Root lock is engaged, chest open. Third eye is the gaze. Inhale left, exhale right, and go. Deeper the breathing. Continue. To the center, inhale deep. Root lock, rectum, sex organ, navel. Draw the gaze, third eye. Under tongue, roof of the mouth, press. Exhale. Hands to your knees. Chest stays lifted, root lock engaged. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. squeeze up. Exhale. Okay, we're going to do the same thing we did last week in the live broadcasts, a little bit of modified times for today, but we're going to be doing that same exercise set. So your gaze is at the tip of your nose, and your breath is a O-shaped mouth, but it's not through like a cannon breath, like a where your cheeks are coming out. It comes more from your chest, almost like a panting breath, like a but your tongue isn't out, so it's a yeah, it's great for your immune system. And why not this time of year especially. And so we're going to be doing that. And the first exercise, hands are out like this. As they twist in towards you, they close into fists. As they twist away from you, they open up. So it's like that. And set, like that. And you go. Go ahead, keep going. Tip of the nose is the gaze. Today, so go all in. 30 seconds, go. Now deep. Fists, root lock, spine tight, tighten the whole body, tight. Exhale. Inhale. Root lock, spine, fist tight, tight. Inhale. Tight, tight. Exhale. Meditate for a moment. Just be still. Just let the body breathe. Gaze a third eye. Let the whole life force energy just take care of you. Let your field of awareness expand all around you. And inhale. Have a little water, yeah? Next exercise, same gaze. Is Blue in the frame? Oh, good. I realize, hey Blue. Stretch. I realized I was like doing this. If you couldn't see what Blue, what in the world is he doing? Alright, now you're gonna pushing like this. Warrior work. Lead with the heel of the palm. Get the spine, and it's not this. It's this. Go. Not very long today, so work it. Push away whatever it isn't serving you in your life right now. Thoughts, behaviors, emotional tendencies, you know? It could be people, it could be things, whatever. It could be, I think the best is the stuff you're not even aware of that's obstructing your prosperity and your happiness and your bliss. Go after those. That's what Kriyas are good for. They go beyond your field of awareness into the subconscious field. Purify at that level. Work it, go. Seconds, go. Inhale, left arm out, right arm back. Fingers like tight. Spine, root lock tight, everything tight. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze tight, fingers like claws tight, root lock tight. Exhale. One more. Deeply go. Exhale. Come on. All right. Last exercise, then our meditation. Arms are slightly bent, fingers not tight, but fingers not touching. Like that, backward circles, heart prana exercise. Let's go. Open the channels of the spine with at the height of the heart with the arm movement and the tip of the nose gaze and the powerful breathing. Inhale. Tongue out, fingers tight, spine squeeze. Stretch out your tongue max. Exhale. Inhale. Root lock, spine, fingers like steel. Stretch your tongue. Exhale. One more inhale. Tongue stretched, fingers tight, squeeze. Exhale. Come lay down. Come on. Let's meditate for a moment. If you find yourself, constantly worrying, even if it's just kind of low-grade worrying, switch your mind into praying. I can't emphasize enough how important that is. That you, first of all, cultivate some genuine sense of prayerfulness to where you have not some sort of I don't want to use that you have some sense of prayer that feels genuine and real to you. And it doesn't mean that like you're in even a belief that you're actually helping others, although I would be willing to bet you would grow into believing that via your experience. However, with that being said, even if it weren't the case that you were actually helping others with prayerfulness, it would still be beneficial for your own mind to think about and be genuinely concerned for others as a primary way of operating and training your psyche to operate that way. That's the only way to become actually blissful, is to make your primary disposition concern for others, and all types of beings. And so instead of always, if you're just sitting there and always just thinking about yourself, meditate on how much you want others, those you love, and those who need it the most, those who you don't know, those whom you don't like, and how much you wish for them to experience love and happiness in their life. And project that out, It's a healthy way of directing your mind at the very least. You see what I'm saying? All right, Tertiala Kriya. Let's begin. Bring yourself into the posture. Chest lifted, elbows into the rib cage, fingers come to a single point. Close the eyes down. Begin to chant along. Navel is in, with the inhalation suspended. And exhale, and the breath held out. Navel is in along with the root lock rectum sex organ with the breath held out. Eyes looking against the back of the eyelids. And you're mentally chanting, not just listening, but mentally chanting along. And as you enter into the meditative space, that chanting will naturally, or with your will power, will start to generate the blue-white electricity around the hands. That with the exhale will then project out into infinite space through the fingertips and continue. If you're having trouble visualizing, simply focus on the mantra in the navel until you enter into a deep meditative state, and then very gradually and slowly bring the visualization in. Keep your chest lifted, the shoulder blades released down the back. Chant along with the Thunderbolt mantra.
Hare
As the Thunderbolt projects from the fingertips, imagine it is purifying away everything that is obstructing happiness, prosperity, and blissfulness for you, your family. Mentally chant along.
Hare
use the mantra to purify and generate radiance at the most subtle levels of the being. Silently vibrate along with the mantra. Exhale. Inhale. Go into stillness. Exhale. Take your hands into the prayer pose. And in all directions, send out a healing energy, a healing light to your families, to your loved ones, to your friends, to your enemies, to all beings everywhere. A massive, deep field of energy, like a tsunami moving out in all directions. field of a brilliant light and the healing energy. A protective force. Love at its purest essence. Like a massive wave going out in all directions.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way
on. So now, friends, thank you very much. That was very beautiful. So, we actually pre-recorded this webcast because I'm in New York today, and we feel it's always better to make sure we just have a stable video for you than me to try to pull it off on the road from some hotel somewhere, which doesn't work usually very well. So anyhow, we still broadcast them live, and the whole LFA tribe doing it together is what's important to us. Guaranteed I'm doing it with you, and I will be on our group in just a moment. And so you can head over in just a moment to the LFA Facebook group, and would love to connect with you over there. And I hope you're doing really well. Take care of each other. Connect with your families. Let go of your grudges. They're not worth holding on to. It takes a lot of energy to maintain that kind of stuff, and it's just never worth it. So love each other. Go out and spread love today. Happy Halloween to those of you who are doing that. And see you over on the forum in just a moment. Satnam.